applications, we required controls. And where I can use these controls is, you can use these controls in environment of Eclipse, or you can use these controls in SAP Web IDE, or you can use HANA Studio as well. Now here, how to test once application is developed. You can test the application using Apache Tomcat server, or you can test the application using SAP HANA Cloud System. Whenever you are running or whenever you are creating an application using SAP Web IDE, by default the application will be get executes within the SAP HANA Cloud platform. And here, after testing the application, if you want to provide this application to your end user, you have to deploy it. For deploying, we have an ABAP repository tool into both environments, where in Eclipse and where in SAP Web IDE you will find this ABAP repository tool for deploying SAP UI5 application into correspondence of SAP system. And once application is deployed, we will be going to do some kind of Fiori administration steps to get end user SAP UI5 custom application or standard application into his or her in Fiori Launchpad. All the time the end user will be going to access SAP UI5 applications using SAP Fiori Launchpad or Fiori framework pages. There are two ways to all the time end user will be going to access in real time SAP UI5 applications. One is either Fiori Launchpad or else the other one is Fiori framework pages. So what does mean Fiori framework pages are? Fiori framework pages is the portal through configuring UI5 applications. Whenever you wanted to run applications of SAP UI5 by monitoring the portal channel, that will be addressed as a Fiori framework pages. It's in a legacy. All the time people will use with Fiori Launchpad. The Fiori Launchpad has again various versions, 1.0, 2.0 and alpha version of 3.0. So here applications initially in Fiori Launchpad will able to access only the custom SAP UI5 applications or standard SAP UI5 applications. From Fiori 2.0 with a better user experience of the user interface as well as WebImpro, transaction code and your custom SAP UI5 application and standard SAP UI5 application all together you can access inside of SAP Fiori Launchpad. To make this custom application or standard application into Fiori Launchpad, there have been involving various other steps that all steps will be going to do, and that will be called as a administration steps. So now here we are in a position to understand to create SAP UI5 application in Eclipse. To develop application in Eclipse, what all softwares you required? If you guys remember, in the yesterday session we talked about how to create an environment for SAP UI5 application development using Eclipse. Let me recollect what all high-level steps you need to perform whenever you want to make an environment in your local system to create SAP UI5 applications. The very first, you have to, in your operating system, you have to search whether Java is being installed or not. If it is not installed, get installed Java runtime environment. Then after, you required Eclipse. You required Eclipse. You have to download the Eclipse. Eclipse here, you can use any of the version of Eclipse. Luna, you can use Eclipse Luna or Mars or Neon. SAP at the moment suggesting is for your development either Mars or Neon, because from this both versions you will be going to get the latest SAP UI5 plugin. Then after, you required for testing the application, you need Apache Tomcat server. So these both will be executes whenever you have a Java runtime environment in your local machine. You need to test the applications. We required Apache Tomcat server. So now, after having of these both are zero installation files. These both are zero installation files. You don't need to install as a Microsoft executable file. You don't need to say next finish. It just download and extract to start to use. Once if you download it, so the steps to here, configure the Eclipse. The very first step, download the Eclipse from Eclipse commercial website. You have to download the Eclipse. Then immediately after downloading the Eclipse, extract and locate eclipse.exe. You can say Eclipse application, Eclipse executable file. The moment when you click on it, it will launch above step will launch Eclipse and then install SAP UI5 plugin. How to install SAP UI5 plugin? It's again very simple job. You have to install SAP UI5 plugin inside of your Eclipse. This is SAP UI5 plugin. Once if you install SAP UI5 plugin, so what is the steps for installing the SAP UI5 plugin into here is, go to the help menu, find option called install new software, and from there say provide the link which is https://tools.hana. This is a SAP Fiori certification question where I can find all SAP UI5 plugins. So the repository URL is https://tools.hana.ondemand.com, and then followed by your Eclipse name. If you're using Mars, you're supposed to say Mars. And once if you install even particular of SAP UI5 plugin with help of this link by saying next finish. Once if you install, then SAP UI5 plugin will be get ready and you can do your creation of Hello World SAP UI5 application. Once SAP UI5 application is being created, for testing the application, you will be going to here. Once application is being created, run application, or else you can say test application. Here testing application will connect to the Tomcat server. So from here you will be going to map your Tomcat server. So once if you map it to the Apache Tomcat server, application will be available here. Here inside you will find SAP UI5 application, and then it will execute with help of a browser. Application will be executed by using a browser. Here the browsers can be of Internet Explorer, or can be of Chrome, or can be of Mozilla, anything. So with help of the browser. So this is the Eclipse environment execution modeling. Now we'll quickly understand again the execution of one more time Hello World application. Yesterday, if you guys remember, I have demonstrated Eclipse using Luna to make you all understanding Eclipse Luna or Mars or Neon. For the developer perspective, everything as same, but Eclipse perspective, it is being released as a new version by fixing the bugs and by fixing the some kind of patchworks. Now very quickly let me open here Eclipse. Open Eclipse, and then I will demonstrate today here the Hello World application execution one more time. So all the time what you have to do is you have to connect to the Eclipse located directory. Go into the inside of Eclipse and find your Eclipse executable file, and then click on it. The moment when you click, it will be going to launch. It will be going to launch Eclipse. Here Eclipse, the very first you need to choose the workspace. Yesterday I already given as B25_1. Then we have created a hello world application. We have mapped the Apache Tomcat server as well. Now this time again I want to do the steps one more time. So I'm connecting to new workspace. Let's say okay. And installation of SAP UI5 plugin is one-time job. And again, Tomcat server adding for your application for workspace is one-time job. For one workspace, once if you map the server, from next time, any applications you develop within the same workspace, you don't need to add multiple times. Just you need to add the project into the Apache Tomcat server. This is a very important point. Please understand. So what I was telling is, in Eclipse will be installed one time only the SAP UI5 plugin, and second thing is Apache Tomcat server will be added only once to the workspace. For every workspace will add only once the Tomcat server. From the next time, every time whenever you create a fresh new project, that project will be added into the inside of the Tomcat server. Okay, so if you remember here, inside of this Apache Tomcat server, it can be a multiple SAP UI5 applications you can use. Okay, so and so on. But only one time only you will map to your workspace. Everything will be inside of your workspace. Okay, and now going back here, Eclipse, it's a fresh new workspace. Close the welcome screen. Before developing, check UI5 plugin is being successfully installed or not. That you can check with about Eclipse. You can type SAP UI5. Yesterday we have seen the latest version for this Eclipse Luna is 1.3.6 only. How to justify it? So then let's help say install new software and then provide the link http://tools.hana.ondemand.com and then followed by Luna. The moment when you type that URL with Eclipse version name, the UI5 development toolkit for HTML5 is 1.36.12. This is the only the latest version are providing inside of Luna. Let's quickly, if you want to install, check and then say next, finish. At the moment I already done, so I don't want to do it. Before doing this installation, please check your internet bandwidth speed, because it takes several minutes to download the dependencies and then to get installed. It will take several minutes. Sometimes it get delays minutes to hours as well due to of your less internet connection. Okay, and now here when you want to create a new project, file menu, new, say other, find here wizard, type SAP UI5, choose application project, say next. And then now you will be going to provide here project name. The project name, let me provide here as hello world. And then here library. Yesterday we discussed about library. Library is a where we have two different libraries. One is SAP UI Commons, other one is SAP.m. Let's choose SAP.m because this is the one only will give compatible across all the devices, across all mobile platforms. This is an option to create initial view. SAP UI5 applications are strictly follows MVC architecture. All SAP UI5 applications will follow strictly MVC architecture, where M stands model, V stands view, C stands for controller. Where V stands view is for presentation logic. The view is here now we are creating. And here, while you are creating a view, provide the some name for the view. I'm giving a name called screen1. S1 stands screen1. You can give any name. It's a user-free text. And provide what is the way you are creating here the application. The type of the view you are creating. Either JavaScript, XML, JSON, HTML. What is the type of view you would like to choose for the development of SAP UI5 application? Yesterday we seen XML. Let me choose XML again. So here XML is free to understand. XML is easy to understand, readable, faster, and there are some other advantages set. Once if you are starting with prerequisite stuff of SAP UI for HTML, CSS, once I knowledge provided, then again I will come back to here view type and we'll discuss in detail about why we were choosing the view type as XML. Okay, now let's say next. And here every time whenever you are adding the project once if you are adding, there will be a dependent libraries also will be added here. The dependent libraries you can have a review of here. This Eclipse is adding various libraries of SAP UI5. Once if you see in that screen, within the screen you can see, within this screen you can notice another important thing is every time whenever you're creating SAP UI5 application, there is a corresponding. We were creating screen1 as a view. There you can see controller of screen1 is also creating by default by Eclipse itself. So whenever you have a screen1 view, one view you will have one correspondence controller. Whenever you have one view, you will have one correspondence controller. It's not mandatory to have, but it's a best practice. Whenever you have a view, for the correspondence of view, the presentation logic or business logic will be maintained by using of the controller. So once if you understand this, let's say finish. The moment when you say finish, here this SAP UI5 application will be going to create inside of your account. Change the perspective of SAP Eclipse environment. Change the perspective by saying yes. So now you can see here the application as I was talking about. This is the screen1 view.xml. If you can see the source, this is the source code of it. You can see screen1 controller. This is the correspondence controller of SAP UI5. Application is executing by using of this index.html. We'll understand in detail how this application is executing and all. Let me quickly run this application with the default output. Let's say run as, right click on project name and say run as, run on server. The moment when you choose run as, run on server, you will find here Apache, and then instead of Apache, choose your Apache Tomcat 7.0, 8.0 or above, whatever Tomcat you downloaded. According to that downloaded Tomcat, select here and then say next. While saying the next, you need to add the Apache Tomcat server located directory that you can add by manually or you can add by using of browse. So now here inside of my local disk drives H drive, I located this Apache Tomcat, downloaded, and then let me choose as okay. If I did not give the correct path, here never you will see this both buttons are enabled. So now let's say next, And if you see now here, this first server, this hello world project now is being added, and say finish. Now very quickly the Eclipse will, using of default browser of Internet Explorer 2, the hello world application will be get executes. Now you can see here with some title, the hello world application. If you want to change the title, you need to go to the presentation logic will be located in the screen1view.xml. Now change this title text of the string to hello world. After doing the changes, let's say, now when you want to now again to test, you don't need to say run as. Already project is added. Now you just need to say quickly refresh. Now you can see hello world. Just refresh. Now if you want to choice of browser is Google Chrome. So now you can come here and then you can execute. Simple. Simple hello world application creation and execution. Now you are felt some difficulties or challenges while creating this environment in your local machine. Don't stop the development. Continue all the exercises which I am providing in here session by using our RDS. Here Techie is providing all environments availability in one machine that we are connecting using remotely. So that machine you have to connect by typing of MSDSC. Whenever you type MSDSC, you will find here remote desktop. Either you can type MSDSC either in command prompt, it will open this remote desktop connection. So they will be provide you the computer address and then credentials, user ID and password. With help of the user ID and password, you can able to log on. Once if you logged on to this system, you will find all environment here. It is ready and available. You don't need to do the installation of Eclipse for the prerequisite Java runtime environment. You don't need to do anything. If you want to quickly understand hello world application development steps, you just come here and then choose. Here you can find Eclipse Neon we placed, Eclipse Mars also we placed. If you want to run, you just right click on the particular your desktop Eclipse and say run as administrator. So now the moment when you say run as administrator, here this Eclipse, earlier we seen Luna, now we'll be going to see Mars. Now Eclipse Mars will be going to open with the workspace. Now here in this workspace, let me quickly define a batch 25_1 and then say OK. So now within that particular workspace, now it is creating a new workspace as V25_1. Now here within this Eclipse, you can start quickly do the exercises of our sessions. If you felt difficulties or challenges for creation of environment in your local machine, then to continue the exercises, you can connect directly RDS and start to do the development. This RDS is not only for Eclipse, it's for our SAP system to access. Whenever you wanted to do any real-time scenarios, we need SAP system. Here we need ECC on HANA system and we need S4HANA system as well. So now here the system also it's available of SAP system. Our real-time scenarios will be done by using of this SAP system only. Every time whenever you are taken the credentials from Techie, they will be going to provide you the user, that user with you can able to connect to this SAP system. So the system here it is mapped with the database is HANA. So you can see the system details here. It is being installed with required SAP UI5 plugins, gateway plugins and all, and you can find here the database is HANA database. So this mission is available with not only the environments, it's available with the SAP system as well. So now once if you connected, once if you run the Eclipse, you will be going to open this and here very quickly check whether SAP UI5 plugin is being installed or not. SAP UI5 plugin is installed. Now you can see here the current version of 1.44.8. If you remember, where in the Luna the latest version is 1.36, but the current version of SAP UI5 here is 1.44.8. I'm sorry, I given some wrong version name. I felt it is 1.38, but it's not, sorry, it's 1.44. Okay, so now here you can see 1.44. So how if you want to install here is also same. Help, install new software and then choose the path http://tools.hana.mas. The moment when you type the mas, you can see here latest SAP UI5 development toolkit. Can you see here 1.44.11 is now is the latest version. So here when you want to install, same as next finish. When you want to create a project, let's say project, let's say SAP UI5 application project, let's say next. Now give as first UI5 and then choose initial view, let's say screen 1, let's say XML and say next, same screen finish. For UI5 developer perspective, there is no difference whether you are using Luna, Mars or Neon or Juno, nothing. But Eclipse perspective, there are being added some features every inside of the new version. It's not maybe for SAP UI5, it's for some other development platforms where it is maybe for your Java or some other XYZ application developments. But in SAP perspective, the latest plugin will be available in latest Eclipse only. That's what I can here give the one straight statement. When you want SAP UI5 latest version, you need to go to the SAP latest Eclipse latest version. Okay. Now here, just right click and you want to test the application. Again you need to say, I'm sorry. Okay. Right click, say run as, say run on server. Again you will see here same as Apache, and here also been downloaded Apache Tomcat and located into drive. Let's browse, and inside of the system drive, where into the local disk C drive, you will find Apache Tomcat. Select it, say OK and say next and say finish. So now yesterday some participant has raised a question, are we having of any difference while you're developing the look and feel or anything will get changes when you go with the one version to other version of Eclipse? But now the answer here with practically is no. Either you go with the Luna or Mars or Neon, Ultimately for the developer it is same as it is. There is no much changes, only the change is latest version availability. Okay, now I want to demonstrate you here SAP Web ID, how to connect and how to build SAP UI5 application using SAP Web IDE. So parallelly I can see some participant questions. Okay, even fine. I will be now going to show you how in HANA Studio will be differentiate. HANA Studio also will be have the same experience of Eclipse. There will be no change in that. Now let me show you here. Here we have downloaded the HANA Studio and we will install. Eclipse is a zero installation file, but HANA Studio is installation file. When you want to use HANA Studio, you have to install it, which is very similar to Microsoft executable installation file. HANA Studio you can find from the tools.hana.ondemand.com. There you can find the HANA Studio and get download and then start to use in your system. So now here it is also same way, you need to choose the workspace. Now let me say here D25_2 and say OK. Now which is opening, earlier it is open Eclipse Luna, now it is opening SAP HANA Studio. Now here in this, as I said, it will be the same experience for the developer whether it is Eclipse or HANA Studio. Now here in this HANA Studio, let's close the welcome screen and navigate to the help menu and find the about SAP HANA Studio. You will find SAP UI5. Now you can see here it is 1.40 and now say OK and then help and then install new software, and here you can type as latest release with help of Neon. You can say here http://tools.onDemand.com/neon. Now you will be going to see here it's displaying the pending, so it is fetching that latest versions. Now you can see for this it is giving that only same as 1.44.11. Now you can